What's up, my friends? How's everybody doing tonight? It's Carpo here. Guess I should adjust this camera. You know, I'm wearing my funky wolf hat to, just to show you that I don't take myself too seriously. I'm a fucking human, alright? Do my best. Try to get by. Every day is different, and every day is another, yearning to learn something new or to try to do a little better than the day before. But anyway, I just wanted to say that because everyone has different opinions, and this subject is one that comes up a lot. When I was going to make this video originally about the particular discussion about politics and how we are so divided sometimes on the issues, but we can't lose sight of our friends, let's say. So I wanted to start off by mentioning that. This election season's some crazy shit, I'm 40. I've seen a few election cycles, but I haven't paid that much attention as I do now. And I think that the older we get, the more we start to pay a little more attention to these things. Whereas the younger generation of today seems to be, a lot of them are embracing, more of the political atmosphere. But all in all, no matter who you vote for, I've made it clear I've made it clear who I dislike. I haven't said who I'm voting for yet, because I don't know. And that's kind of the point here. The reason we have debates, at least theoretically, is so both candidates can discuss the issues and debate the issues and how they're going to solve them. The problem is that none of that has happened in these debates, or very many in the past. It's a matter of who can show the faults of the other person and who can claim that they have a better solution about something totally irrelevant to the discussion. Now this is common politics, and this is what people are sick of in this country, and this is why so many people support Trump, because they are sick of politics as usual, and I can't blame them. Which is why you do have to look at it from both sides. You have to understand how the other side thinks, but not pick a side. That's the key. A lot of people go into watching these debates with the mentality of, well, I just want to see, so-and-so make a fool of themselves. Or, if you've already made the decision of who you're going to vote for long before the debates, then, I think that kind of goes against the whole point of the debates. But some people are conservative and some are Democrat. But in this case, it shouldn't matter if you're conservative or not, because Donald Trump was a Democrat 10 years ago. So, he's not loyal to any party. He's just a person. And that's kind of the way it should be. I mean, in my eyes, that's the attractive nature of it. But I don't want to get into the details. What I'm trying to get across here is whoever you're voting for and whatever decision you're making, just realize that it's not worth losing friends over. Okay? You will meet some people that just cannot handle a debate. Now, I've been debating stuff since I was young. I mean, I've always loved, getting into the argumentative discussions for the end result of a net worth for both people, that you're both learning something from it, and that's the idea. But it doesn't always work that way, because sometimes one side just wants to prove why they're right. And it's okay, because once we understand why the other side wants these things, we can explain how that would or wouldn't work. But ultimately, a lot of it's speculation on all of our parts. So I have, I've had good friends in the past I've argued with. I have a good friend that used to think he was a conservative, and I would always, nitpick at him, and we would argue through text or in person over and over about, the reality of how we thought things were. And he's totally changed his views on a lot of things, not because of anything I said, but because he sees things differently now. And during that time, I didn't hate him for his views. I just understood that he had different views. And this is the way, what we have to hold, not just with our friends and family, but especially our friends and family, but with all people we meet on the internet. All the Trump supporters out there who have, tried to prove their point, they know that we're all just people. You don't have to agree with everything I think, and I sure as hell won't agree with everything you think. And that's just the world we live in. We're all different people. It's hard to understand the mentality of where other people are coming from, and sometimes we can't, because it's very complicated. There's no one particular issue that a person can nail down and in a message says, this is why I'm voting for so-and-so. It's a very complex issue. It always is, Sometimes you just got to stop and smell the flowers. Don't forget that you're human. You know, a lot of people who are like super anti-liberal, you know, they're the kind of people who would, you know, for example, see me dressed like this and say, oh, dumb liberal hippie. I feel sorry for those people. I do. I don't see a lot of those people at the, you know, that kind of attitude like at the events I go to and concerts I go to, you know. But every once in a while you see somebody who just can't handle being pushed around at a concert, or somebody who you can tell is out of their element, that can't enjoy certain basic life pleasures because they are so irritated all the time because of whatever it may be in their life. I can't sit and try to identify it. It's complicated. Some people are just pissed off all the time. And so they point the finger at other people and say, you're the problem, and it's just so old, you know. But I'd like to remind us all that we're just people. We have this idea that everyone's, you know, that there is you know, when I was young, I used to think, you know, I guess I never really thought of it as an age of maturity, but at a point where you're an adult, you know, and you get older and you start to realize there is no adult. There is only an adult state of mind, or a child state of mind. There are plenty of adults that have childish minds, which is part of the reason why I dislike certain politicians. But there are also people who are very young that have very strong adult mature minds. Folks who are just way beyond their years. So, you know, playing the age card or, hey, you'll get there one day, kid, that doesn't work. It's something I try never to do, especially to the younger generation, because I sure as hell don't like it when I get old man bullshit thrown my way. You know, like, oh yeah, you'll see it one day. I do understand that as you age, you have different viewpoints, and your viewpoints change, but it doesn't mean that your viewpoints are going to all go the same direction. Because there are plenty of liberal old men, plenty of conservative old men and women, and there is no one-size-fits-all mentality or lifestyle. But, you know, one thing I thought about earlier, as far as politics goes, is part of the reason why it seems like part of what it comes down to as to the difference in values, as to why people vote different ways, is a preservation of self mentality for some, and a preservation of the all mentality for some. And a lot of people really want to see the world do good. They want to see other nations up there doing fine and competing. They want to see other races and cultures and immigrants helping and walking and living alongside all of us. Then there are people who think that immigration is a threat to our national security, to our borders, to our economy, and that America should basically just close up shop and just, you know, hide in the corner. We can't do that. We're a huge nation. It's just not the reality of the way life works. The light just went out. That was weird. I made a weird ticking sound earlier, and I thought it might do that. So we go through a lot of changes in our life and a lot of things that we start to understand and learn about ourselves and our world, and we do change our minds a lot, you know? I mean, shit, I was not interested in politics at all when George Bush Jr., before he became, you know, a candidate. When he was up, I made all these anti-Bush t-shirts that I printed up, and a bunch of stickers that I made, you know, fuck Bush and whatnot. I was angry, and I realize now, as I'm older, that it was a misplaced hostility. I was angry at George Bush just because of what I'd been told. Even though I still, to this day now, I dislike the man for other reasons, but I actually ended up feeling more sorry for the guy. I mean, he was a player. He was he was a goofy figurehead. I was so anti-Bush because of the things that he said to the people. See, it's not always what a person's done in their history or what a candidate may do or may not do, but rather what kind of a person are they? You know, what kind of a heart do they have? Or do they have one at all? And I've seen so many stones cast at other people, back and forth, back and forth. Everybody wants to fight about it and argue, you know, but I just wanted to reach out and say, hey, don't let yourself get sucked into it, and to the point where you're going to lose friends over this, because this election will move on and new things will happen. Everyone has their opinions, and ultimately we're all more or less on the same side. We just have different ideas of how to get there. So we're all on converging roads, and I'll meet you in the middle. Peace.